MBT. This is the king of the modern battlefield and the pinnacle of tank design. The main battle tank is a heavily armored tracked vehicle with a large caliber main gun as its primary weapon. It is defined by its optimal balance of the three core elements: firepower, armor protection, and mobility. The MBT is a universal design that replaced the older, specialized medium and heavy tanks, capable of both leading an assault and destroying other armored vehicles. Modern examples like the American M1 Abrams, the German Leopard 2, and the Russian T-90 are the decisive offensive weapons in any major land war. Light. This is a category of tank that prioritizes mobility, speed, and rapid deployment over heavy armor. Light tanks prioritize mobility and lower weight, which can make them easier to deploy and operate in places where heavier tanks struggle. But not all light tanks are truly air transportable. Its primary roles are reconnaissance, screening for larger forces, and providing fire support for light infantry units. While its thinner armor makes it vulnerable to other tanks, its powerful cannon is still a major threat to lighter vehicles and fortifications. The American M10 Booker is often described as a modern light tank-style vehicle, but it's officially a mobile protected firepower vehicle built to support infantry with direct fire. Light, medium, and heavy. This was the main way tanks were classified for much of the 20th century, especially in World War II, by weight and battlefield role. Medium tanks, like the M4 Sherman and the T-34, were the versatile workhorses that formed the bulk of armored forces. Heavy tanks, like the Tiger I, traded speed for thick armor and heavier guns, designed to break through strong points and win head-to-head fights. Infantry. The infantry tank was a unique British concept from the early 20th century. It was a slow, very heavily armored tank designed for one purpose: to move at the pace of walking infantry during an assault. Its job was not to be fast, but to be a mobile fortress, absorbing immense amounts of enemy anti-tank and machine gun fire to protect the foot soldiers advancing alongside it. The Matilda II and the legendary Churchill tank of World War II are the quintessential examples of this tough, resilient, but slow-moving class. Cruiser. The cruiser tank was the second half of the British tank doctrine, and the direct opposite of the infantry tank. A cruiser was designed to be fast, mobile, and relatively lightly armored, fulfilling the traditional role of cavalry. Its mission was not to get bogged down in the main infantry battle, but to exploit a breakthrough in the enemy's line. Once a gap was created, the cruiser tanks would pour through, racing deep into the enemy's rear to cause chaos, cut supply lines, and attack command centers. The Crusader and Cromwell tanks are famous examples of this high-speed design. Super heavy. This is a category for the most extreme and monstrous tank designs ever conceived, going far beyond the standard heavy tank class. Super heavy tanks were World War II-era projects that prioritized overwhelming firepower and impenetrable armor above all else, often at the cost of mobility and practicality. These were land battleships, weighing well over 100 tons. The most famous example is the German Panzer VIII Maus, a 188-ton behemoth that was the heaviest tank ever built. The American T-28 was a super-heavy, turretless assault vehicle, often labeled a tank destroyer/assault gun, and it's a classic example of how extreme armor concepts traded practicality for protection. Tank destroyer. This is a specialized vehicle, often more lightly armored than a tank, but designed for one purpose: to hunt and kill enemy tanks. Historically, this meant mounting an oversized, powerful cannon onto a chassis, like the German Jagdpanther of World War II. In the modern era, the role is often filled by vehicles armed with powerful anti-tank guided missiles. These are fast, often wheeled vehicles that can get into an ambush position, fire their long-range missiles, and then quickly relocate. Assault gun. An assault gun is a direct-fire weapon designed to support infantry in an attack. It is typically a large caliber cannon mounted on a tank chassis, often in a fixed, turretless structure. Its primary job is infantry support, knocking out bunkers, machine gun nests, and fortifications with high explosive fire, though assault guns did end up fighting tanks when they had to. The Stug 3 from World War II is the most produced and famous example of this type. Amphibious. This is a specialized tank designed to swim. An amphibious tank is a light tank that has been engineered to be fully buoyant and can propel itself through the water, typically using hydrojets or by its spinning tracks. Its mission is to cross water obstacles, rivers, lakes, marshes, and sometimes coastal shallows, so armored units can keep moving without waiting for bridges. The Soviet PT-76 is a classic amphibious tank, and modern examples often include amphibious fire support vehicles like China's ZTD-05. Airborne. This is a type of light tank that is specifically designed to be transportable and, in some cases, deployable by air. The goal is to provide airborne troops, who are typically a very light infantry force, with their own armored firepower. These vehicles must be extremely light and compact to fit inside transport aircraft. Some airborne armored vehicles, like Russia's BMD family, can be airdropped by parachute, giving airborne units immediate armored fire support, even if these vehicles aren't tanks in the strictest definition. Flame tank. This was one of the most terrifying weapons of the 20th century. A flamethrower tank was typically a standard tank modified to mount a flamethrower, often replacing a hull machine gun or adding a flamethrower system, so it could clear bunkers and trenches at close range. Its purpose was to attack and destroy fortified positions like bunkers, trenches, and pillboxes that were resistant to explosives. The intense stream of burning fuel was brutally effective at clearing out entrenched infantry. The American M4 Sherman Zippo was a famous example used in the Pacific during World War II. Mine clearing. This is a modern, specialized combat engineering vehicle built on a tank chassis. Its job is to clear a safe path through a deadly minefield. These tank-based engineering vehicles are equipped with specialized tools for the mission. The most common are a mine plow, a massive V-shaped plow mounted on the front that digs up and pushes mines to the side, or a mine flail, a rotating drum with heavy chains that beat the ground to detonate the mines ahead of the vehicle. Thanks for watching. Which tank type do you think had the biggest impact on warfare? Let me know what you think in the comments. Also, please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.